Hi, I'm Mary Campbell of Divining Beauty. So we are finally into April, and it is a relief because March was that kind of a month for me. I'm not sure if you had this same situation. It feels like an in-between month, this place between winter, and it's not yet winter, but it's not spring yet. So we had snow on top of Forsythia. My book that I've been working on for ages, I tossed it up in the air and I'm ready to do a new revision. I said goodbye to a really beautiful relationship that didn't have a future. What I've found that in these times that are challenging, and I think for most of us these times are challenging, we really need something that holds us together, something that gives us the possibility of seeing the beauty of life. So I had an interesting experience that brought that for me last week. I went to DC to visit my sons, who were both there, and decided to go to the Holocaust Museum. It seemed like it was time. I hadn't done it yet. But if you've been there, you know the experience of going from floor to floor to floor and hearing the stories in recordings and the video footage and just the experience of seeing the letters. It was really difficult. And I felt this more viscerally than I had imagined. It was really like just the darkest place for me. And after my few hours there, I walked outside, and it was sunny and 77 degrees, I think, and the cherry blossoms were blooming. And that was just as real as being inside the museum. And I realized that there are times like this where we have both. We have this amazing, beautiful life, and we have horror stories that we hear in the news. So many things that bring challenge to us that it's hard to put it all together. But the experience of having those cherry blossoms as real as the experience of living through the Holocaust Museum held for me that understanding that in every moment there's both. We tend to think that either it's great or it's horrible, and we feel both extremes. But what I'm seeing is that in every moment there's this possibility of finding beauty. So another story, on the way home from the airport, it was a dreary, cold day, 30 degrees at least cooler than where I just left in beautiful springtime in Washington. The trip back was through woods, through my countryside in the Berkshires, where not anything was blooming. Everything was still gray and drab, but sort of flickering like butterflies on the branches of trees were the beech leaves that don't drop in the fall. They wait until the spring. And they were like parchment floating butterflies in the landscape. Just that experience of having that gift took me from my sort of grisly, grimy, grumpy mood of coming back to the cold to just a remembrance of beauty, that beauty is there. Beauty is really surrounding us in so many places. There is an interesting quote that I just recently heard by Martha Graham, and I think it applies as much to dance as it does to this habit we need to develop of finding beauty. I think the quote goes something like, "Practice doesn't make perfection. Practice makes permanent." So taking that quote to heart, what is it that you want to make permanent in your life? Because whatever we do causes that. So it feels to me that perhaps what really saves us is this possibility of making our finding beauty, finding what can be surprising, not just the beautiful sunset, not just the glorious full moon, but moments of beauty, moments of searching or really opening our eyes or our ears to finding a deeper beauty in any moment, and coming back to what's real, both the difficult and the beautiful. So I hope you'll join me Again, I'm at diviningbeauty.com. I have a new gift, if you're there for the first time, of tips to really help spring bring that beauty to you. And look for me again on Facebook at Divining Beauty. Take care. Hope to see you soon again.